Hi guys, this is Geetika Saigal and welcome to our conversation today in our author series. I'm very delighted to say hello to Preity Gupta, author of an amazing book on a very interesting topic. It's called Cost Savvy Secure Cloud. Preeti has joined us today, and Preeti is a business security expert with over 20 years of experience. She's an advisor, she's a consultant, she's a security architect, and she's worked on multiple transformative projects and she guides organizations towards secure cloud solutions. She navigates through those really complex terms and complex stuff which a lot of us don't understand, but all of us need. And she's put that together in an amazing book. And we're here to talk to Preeti today to understand what the book is about, how it helps us, how it helps business leaders as well, and of course, to know Preeti a little bit more intimately because we all want to know the author behind the book, right? So, hi Preeti, welcome to our conversation today.
Yeah, thank you, Geetika. Thank you for a very wonderful introduction.
My pleasure, totally my pleasure. So, Preeti, before we deep dive into the book, why don't you first tell us a little bit about what is security? What is cloud security? Because we all know it's an important aspect in the business world today, and security is something that we keep hearing in and around all of our organizations as professionals. But we want to hear from the expert in your very simple words. What is this topic about? And then we'll get deeper into it.
Okay. So, if we talk about the cloud security, in general term, if we understand that whatever we do, right, whether we drive a car or whether we do anything, right, we need a security. We wear the seat belts. If we are driving the scooter, we are wearing the helmet and all that. Right. Same way, if we are protecting our data, whether it's on premises or whether it's on a cloud, right, we need a security. For example, if we talk about the complete infrastructure within on-premises, we do have different servers. We have a data center wherein we have different servers. We provision different applications into it and have a database, separate database, and do have other network infrastructures, with including our firewalls and WAF. Similar way, when we move it to the cloud, whether of a different cloud providers, right, whether it's Azure, AWS, or Oracle, or any of the cloud providers, the infrastructure remains same. That it includes your data center in a form of a region, right, and it have different network segregations in a form of VNet, and we do apply different network security in a form of firewalls, DDoS, and WAF. And if we talk about the applications, we apply the OWASP rules, security, and all those things. In a data side, we apply the different encryptions, whether it is your masking or anything like that. And at the same time, we also, when we apply all these security, it's a sort of a protection which is we giving to our data, whether data is in transit or whether data is in rest, right? So, along with the whatever protection we give, we also need to deduct that keep a control on the things that it is being deducted properly. Means if some of the laptop or any of the endpoint is being attacked by any of the hackers, right? So if it is not being deducted, right, it will stay. Those malicious or your malware will stay there for a longer time and will spread over the complete infrastructure or to your servers also. Because if one laptop is accessing the server, right, it is opening the port to that server. And if your laptop is having any type of malware, then there is a probability that it can move to the servers also and can affect the complete infrastructure or the cloud environment, right? So therefore, we also you can say provision different deductions and prevention tools, right? Which will deduct as well as respond to all those threats in our live environment, or you can say also help us to deduct the zero-day threats in all those threats, right? And in a form of you have a complete SOC and SIM environment, and you do the complete vulnerability scanning and also maintain the complete cloud security posture management by you can say mitigating the misconfigurations which is done by the developers, right? Due to the you can say different due to inavailability, or you can say no proper documentation from the architecture side. So if we talk about the security, it starts from the designing itself, right? And there itself, it is a role of architecture itself, architect itself, that to adhere that all the developers or all the stakeholders are using the environment in a secure way, so that the chances and the probability of having the attack from the outside threat as well as the inside threat will get me reduced. So, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for sharing that with us right at the very beginning so that it kind of explains to us what this entire topic is about, Preeti. I think there are some golden nuggets which you shared over there with us, to put it, just in layman terms, like I would understand it, right? But the topic of security or business security is extremely important because it is about keeping safe one of the most important elements of today's time, which is our data, our information, right? And that is why it's so important to the business world, because the business world is running on our own proprietary data, right? Also, you spoke about how this is pertaining to whether you are keeping your data on site or whether you're keeping your data off site as well. So in both the scenarios, it's important to keep it safe, as well as whether, in both situations, whether your data is resting or whether your data is traveling from one point to the other, right? So in all these scenarios and situations, the safety of our data is extremely important. And that is what this entire topic is about. So thank you for sharing that with us, Preeti, right at the very start. A very, I think, basic but fundamental thing which I have observed over the last few years, Preeti, is that we always think that security is a technical topic, right? But I think increasingly over the last few years, we've started seeing in the business world that it's being treated slowly as a business area as well, as a business concern. Would I be right in assuming that it is moving from just technology aspect and it's now an important aspect of business operations as a whole?
Yeah, you can say this thing, but you can generally in a large organizations, right? But if we talk about the small and medium organization, they still take it as a technology, not as a business uh, decision, right? So the when I worked with different businesses, I also see that they have there is a gap between the security and the cost, right? So they have a fear that if they imply the security, then it will be very much expensive, right? And they don't. While working with them, I also observed this thing, that some of the organizations are overutilizing the security, means overspending on the security. They have a large organization and they are using multiple tools for the same purpose and in a different department, and those tools are not efficiently being used, right? So they are overspending on the security. If we talk about the security within a small organization, they are neglecting it completely, right? Although due to everything is moving to the cyber world, right? So there is
Yeah.
a more you can say requirement or more urgency that people should understand that security is very important. When we talk to different people, even if it is individual or a business, although they don't talk that how many threats they have faced, but they face, right? If you talk to the business owner itself, then you will came to know that they have undergone different multiple threats, right? Whether it's in a inside threats or a outside threat, but they don't talk about and do not give much importance to it until and unless they face a heavy, you can say, fine from the government or heavy, you can say, customer
Or
trust break or something like that.
some calamity happens, right?
Yeah, some big
The-
happens. Generally,
yeah.
this thing happens with the big organizations, right? Small organizations think that they are small, nothing will happen. Even if something happens, that is fine, not a big deal. They will handle it by themselves or something like that. But they don't understand that it will, they hamper their customer trust, right? So
Yeah.
the trust which they have with the customer once breaks, they will not give you more reference. Your business will
Very
stop
important.
things, and these things will happen. So it's very important that nowadays people are insisting more on security. That if you want to have some international contract, right? International businesses, right? They always prefer that you do have some certifications like 27001, right? ISO 27001 or some other certifications for your company so that they can rely on you, that whatever data they are giving to you is safe with your company, right? So this is very important from a customer trust point of view, right? So these
Absolutely. Like you so rightly said, it takes a long period of time to build trust with a client,
yeah,
but it can vanish in seconds like that, right?
yeah,
So trust is very fragile and trust is very critical and important, right?
yeah,
So it is not just the technical aspect from your company side, but it's also about instilling faith in your clients, right? And making them confident in
yeah,
your systems and security, right? Because they are putting their most important piece of business, which is their data, in your hands, right? So
yeah,
they need to know that it's safe. And that's a very good point that you mentioned, that especially if you're scaling or if you're going global, then
yeah.
people want all the more that level of safety and insurance, that yes, I can work with this partner or with this vendor, right?
Yeah. Yes, so if we talk about the security from the smaller or medium-sized companies, right? So they don't understand that internal threats is also there, right? Means whatever employees they have onboarded, those also need to be scrutinized completely, right? Means their background checks and their all the security from that angle also need to be completely checked, because uh, whomsoever you are hiring, you don't know basically who are they. The right
Yeah.
person or the wrong person, right? So that is also need to be checked properly, and that type of internal threats also need to be managed, because they can also steal your data. They can also give it to somebody else, right? So those type of threats also need to be taken care along with these different, because when we start working with for any client or for our own businesses also, right? Whosoever employee is working, they get all the details, right? They have all the details in hand. Uh, so those type of securities also need to be maintained, that it should be completely authenticated, and complete authorization will be given to the person, right? Whosoever is using it, means apart from the authorized person, nobody else is required to use that data, right? So those type of the securities also need to be maintained.
Right. So I think that's a very important point, that moving forward, all organizations need to understand that this is a topic which is relevant to each one of them, even if they're a small business,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, because of so many internal threats, which, like you said, can crop up as well, right?
yeah,
So gone are the days where you thought that, oh, we're a small business, therefore we don't need to. worry about this big topic, right?
Mhm.
So, as all levels of businesses, it is important and it is critical in different ways, but it impacts them all in a critical manner. Right,
Yeah.
very interesting. So, when did you, Preeti, get the idea of actually writing a book on this topic?
Yeah, means after looking all those gaps and seeing that there is a huge gap between the thinking and the balance between the security and all those costs, I feel like compelling myself to write the share my expertise with them so that it can reduce that gap.
Absolutely. Very nice. Very nice. So the title of your book, right? It says Cost Savvy Secure Cloud, right? So explain to us the cost element. We understand the cloud security element, the topic, but explain to us a little bit about this cost element which you have put in your title as well.
Yeah, so when I write this book, I basically put myself in the shoes of a business owner, right?
Okay.
So I start thinking from their point of view, from their perspective. If we talk
Mhm.
about the businesses, they are generally concerned about the finances, their profits, and getting the things done, right? They're really
Mhm.
concerned about the security until and unless something happens, right? Until and unless some big threat happens in their own organization, they do not
Mhm.
even aware about it that it is required or it's not required, right?
Mhm.
So keeping those things in mind, I started analyzing the things, what actually business owner is looking for, means how we can convince them, how we can make them that it is going to benefit them, right? It is bringing benefits in the form of the finance itself, means if some threat comes, then government also impose fine on you, as well as the different the whatever recovery cost is there, right? That also been applied, right? So keeping all those things uh, in mind, I try to give the practical strategies, as well as the real world examples and the industry insights, so that it will help them to tackle with the cloud environment, keep maintaining the security and controlling the cost.
I think what you said in the first line itself, that was a mic drop moment for me. That you put yourself in the place of the business owner and then
Yeah.
wrote the book. I think that is simply gold. I think that is so important because a lot of experts, a lot of aspiring authors, when they're writing a book, they believe that it is all about themselves,
Mhm.
right? But that's to do more with writing your own personal journal, which goes into your drawer and next to your bedside table, right? But writing a book is about who you are writing it for, right? So when you put yourself in their shoes, think from their perspective, live in their skin, understand what they would be looking for when they are reading the book. I think that's when your book becomes more authentic and your and it becomes really valuable to the reader. So kudos to you, Preeti, for understanding the one of I think the most important things about sharing your expertise. No, be it through a book or be it through any medium for that matter, with your audience. You have to put yourself in their shoes, which is why I believe, guys, that this is a brilliant book on this particular topic. And if you're watching this or listening to us, then and you're curious about this topic, then you must pick up a copy of this book from Amazon. It's available both in Kindle and paperback, right? So coming back to the topic, Preeti, how was your experience through whilst you wrote this book? How did it feel? And more importantly, how did it feel when you actually finished writing the book and it was out?
So this writing this book also helped me a lot. Means it basically expand my network, and also give me a lot of opportunities of speaking, workshops, and consulting. So that was, you can say, I did a lot of awareness programs, security awareness programs in different platforms, and this is what you can say currently helps me. This book is now become my identity, you can say.
Excellent, excellent. I love that. So well put. The book does become your identity. I keep telling people the book is like an extension of you, right? Now you are you plus your book, right? So that's lovely, and it's great to know that it is acting also as a tool that opens up more and more doors for you, more and more opportunities for you. Love the fact, Preeti, that you're using your book to get to make your voice heard in more forums, in more places, within more walls, within more rooms, through your speaking, through your workshops. And now I think with Secure Biz, it's only going to take your mission to the next level,
Yeah.
right? And I'm sure that, like they said, the village raises the child, and the team and your family has raised the book to this stage, and now I think it's time for you to take your vision to the next level. I'm sure your family is very proud of you. Who's the proudest of you in your family?
My mother.
That that is usually the case. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. No, I'm sure she's very proud of you, and for everything that you've done in the 2 decades here. और अभी तो picture बाकी है मेरे दोस्त. अभी तो it is just starting. The book is your first chapter. Let's think of it like that, and so many more chapters that are going to come in your professional life. We look forward to you contributing more and more to this topic, to this field, because I think as the world sees it now, it is only just starting, right? Security, cloud security, business security, and the accessibility and the importance of it.
AI.
Um,
Now it's
Sorry?
AI security is coming into the
AI
picture.
security, oh my God.
Yeah, that
Yes,
is more critical
absolutely.
and we can say more important nowadays.
Good, good. So how does that aspect now change the whole topic, the whole game with AI coming in? What do you see?
If we talk about AI itself, right? So in a security, uh, so uh, so it's like whatever monitoring tools we applied, right? So
Yeah,
those need to be AI compliant. Means generally what happening is that the threats are increasing, right? Whether it's a
yeah,
deepfake in a sense where the videos of the personalities is being replicated, or you can say being stimulated, right? So
yeah,
those are the deepfakes, your videos where people are you can say manipulating the videos and try to extract the monies from your employees in a form of a CEO. Means one of the example is that one of the CEO video is being created and asked from a supplier to send the money to the bank, like in dollars, right? So this basically creates the you can say distrust in a supplier also, and it is a security threat in itself, right? Which is very
abs-
important and very crucial. So these type of security also need to be maintained, right? Here in we you can say create different parameters wherein we add the security in a complete CI/CD pipeline, right? Your DevOps, and as well as when we train the data, this machine learning data, right? Those data can be misused or misguided, right? Like in a movie, right? Where they misguide the robot itself while training it, right? While learning, make them learn, right? Similar way, so those type of security is also required when we put some data, whether it's not degraded, right? Whether it's not being wrongly interpreted, right? So these type of information need to be taken care. So, so whatever measures we take while development, that type of securities also need to be maintained. Whether
Right.
we are applying the security for analyzing the zero-day threat. Zero-day threat is what in different threats, it's like there is different patches also, right? Whenever the threat arises, we create the patches, and when we add those patches, then that threat cannot affect our system, right? But zero-day threat is where nobody knows what that threat is, right? In that scenario, it is very important that we apply those type of deduction IDS and IPS tools, right? So that it will analyze those threats and at the same time mitigate those threats, right? So here, where the AI played an important role, that whether we are training the ML data, whether we are using it in our CI/CD pipeline, whether it's you can say public surface area, where our public IPs are exposed to the means you can say it's a big loophole. Those type of tools are also required, which check or keep on scrutinizing the things at a public surface area. That any link or any you can say public IP is not having the loophole where the hackers can enter, right?
Right.
Or
Right.
penetrate our system.
Right, right. So just when we thought we had cracked everything about cloud security, now comes AI and makes everything even more complex. Once again, right? Yeah. So I think this is a topic which is ever evolving, right, Preeti? And I'm sure that whenever we have the next conversation around this, you're going to tell me two more new things which have happened and come into into the space as well, right? Because this is, I think, a field which is growing as business complexities are changing, from day to day and night to night, and therefore the security features also that we need to enable around it need to be more dynamic and need to be refreshed from time and again. And I think these kind of things, if I understand correctly, all of these changes, all of these elements, features, additions, which we now have to take on with AI also coming in, these will all start from, I think, the design architecture phase as well, right? We need to
Yeah,
start incorporating
yeah.
them from the start itself, right? Um, uh,
So with the coming of AI, like everybody is starting using the chat GPT, right? And with
mm,
the use of AI, it's like it's very easy to create the personalized messages or emails, right? Which can
yeah,
easily be used as a phishing attack. So that needs to be you can say mitigated, right? For those also we need to apply the tools at our system, right? So that those emails can be analyzed and can be blocked in the beginning itself, so that it will not be the human responsibility to analyze and find that whether this email is phishing, whether it's phishing or not, right? Similar way, it's like using a chat GPT, we can easily create the commands, right? Or Python codes or um, all these commands wherein we can set that write a code to find the ports, right? Open ports, right? It's easy to find the open ports of any of the businesses, right? So so therefore, nowadays security is so critical because AI is coming or spreading up their, you can say, area, right? Wherein the general public also know how to write the code, right? And give the you can say command and just get the code in hand, right? And
yeah,
can easily misuse it if the person is not having a good moral values, right? So therefore, security is nowadays is
absolutely.
coming, you can say, become more important.
Yeah, yeah. The more I'm listening to you on this point, my heart is going duduk, duduk, duduk. Because I'm an avid ChatGPT user as well. Right? But absolutely correct. You know, AI is a double-edged sword, right? That is, has its benefit, but then it throws some incredibly challenging stuff along our way as well, in the sense of managing it, controlling it, and diverting it to good use rather
Yeah,
than misuse, which has also become very easy now these days, right?
yeah,
I've also tried my hand at writing code with ChatGPT, so I know what it does and what it can possibly do. But that's a very interesting conversation, possibly for another day, another time, when we could pick your brains, Preeti, because I think this would be a topic long enough for us to talk for an hour on itself. But coming back to today, I think it's been really interesting, refreshing, and valuable to have this conversation with you. Lovely to see you thriving after the few months of the book release. Um, uh, uh, Very pleased to hear about the doors that it's opening, the initial responses that the book got for you, and the many more opportunities that you're going to unleash now and take your mission further ahead, right? Thank you so much for joining us today, Preeti, and wish you more and more success in your field, and to see you on more and more stages, speaking and sharing your valuable learnings with the rest of us. Thanks for joining in.
yeah. Thanks a lot, Geetika.
Okay. All right.
My
Bye.
pleasure.